When we say that it's Ghor Kalyug, what does that mean? Look at it simply. It shows you that there's massive disorder. There's chaos happening, there's mayhem happening. And Kali will rise to destroy all evil. Evil is simply humans' non-acceptance of a cosmic law. When a human being starts assuming that it is the supreme, it, without any basis of devotion or sense, it will start destroying everything because it believes that there is no repercussion for its actions. The feminine energy is becoming very, very masculine, and it's becoming more vengeful. It's seeking revenge. You can see this in nature also. Earth is Bhudevi. She is the feminine principle. And we saw this in Corona, that when all human activity stopped, nature blossomed. We're seeing extreme floods everywhere, in deserts, which was unheard of. We're seeing natural destruction happening at a very fast pace. There are wars, there are viruses coming. All to remind humans that their ways need to change. And you can see Prithvi in her Kali Roop. So, why did the feminine energy come in this form? If we just rewind to the last few hundred years of human life on this planet, we'll see that the feminine was highly suppressed and abused. And we'll have to understand the feminine energy beyond just gender, although it's very evident in gender scenarios, but also beyond gender. Man, which is, for the lack of a better word, stands for masculine energy, was all about conquering, achieving, dominating, and everything that is masculine started by getting over glorified. And everything that is feminine, which is soft, subtle, poetic, beautiful, loving, took a back seat. So the yin and yang principle that we see, the Shiva Shakti principle, which is that the masculine and feminine are different but equal. And for the creation to stay in a state of balance and to sustain itself, both these energies need to be equally valued. When we saw the extreme masculine energy increasing, we also saw humans behave worse than animals. Look around you. An animal just attacks to feed its stomach. But what is happening with humans? There's child abuse, there's human trafficking, there is ill treatment towards women, domestic violence, there is lack of equal opportunities for transgenders, for other genders. The masculine principle, which was for protection of the species, has turned against itself, its character, and it is attacking its own species. And the feminine energy has totally transformed into this fierce, destructive energy, but it is only to again bring back balance, curtail the negativity and the toxicity in that masculine energy, and create a society that is more balanced. So in yoga we have the concept of Shiv Shakti. Shakti, the feminine energy, is a downward facing triangle. That means it is a receiver, it is receptive. And the masculine energy is the upward facing triangle, which means what? That it is the giver. It is in a giving role. We can also understand it in terms of tattvas. The masculine energy is more fixed. It is more structured. And the feminine energy is fluidic. So, this abuse that we see in society is happening because the masculine energy has started destroying the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is more vulnerable, it's more dependent, it is more passive, it is soumya, it is soft. So we see child abuse, rape, domestic violence, right? And the feminine energy is not coming into its power, which is also its. Water can be very, very powerful. Water can trickle down like a drop, but we see water can be tsunamis. So the feminine energy, although receptive, is not weak. Although vulnerable, it is not at the mercy of the other. It is very, very capable of going out of control. Right? Because the container, the jug that could contain this has turned against it. So I've created this course just for this one purpose. Because how do we change the situation, right? We cannot blame the government. We cannot blame the social structure, because the very people who have created the social structure are violent, are abusive. So how does the victim or the abused rise up against that which is abusing? So who is this course for? Everyone who suffers from low self-worth, self-esteem. Those who have suffered gender bias. Those who have been victims of abuse, whether physical, mental, in toxicity in relationships. Those who have addictions, cannot overcome their addictions. Those who lack boundaries. I will initiate you into Devi Upasana, the fierce form of the Devi. And I will also teach you some modern techniques to gain that inner power, gain that focus and clarity, so that you can turn your life situations around. So that you don't remain a victim in your situation, but you come out of the situation